AVP League on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Wilson, the official ball of the AVP.
Some of the beautiful sights around Los Angeles as we welcome you back with a look at the men's standing. Smith & Webber undefeated, about to take the stand for the third time this season. You heard Phil Dalhausser talk about he wants to be a top 2 seed. 4-1 is looking good for that. On the women's side, Brasher and Nutt still undefeated. Cannon Craft undefeated. Denneberg and Donlin, the most exciting young team in the AVP League season. The top-heavy women's field is also powering some of these cup standings. Palm Beach played a ton of volleyball and done it at an excellent level. They are 8-2. LA, could they be 6-0 after tonight? One more match to go. Smith & Webber need to prove it. We appreciate you being with us here for the AVP League from the Intuit Dome. Night 1 of 2 nights of play. It was a good one. It started out with a ton of offense and then a couple of sweeps for Palm Beach being victorious. For my partners, Rich Lamborn and Cameron Irwin, I'm Kevin Barnett saying goodbye and good night from LA. The AVP League has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
The sun sets over the South Bay, and just on the interior of the coast of California, you'll find Inglewood, where the Intuit Dome is playing host to Week 5 of the AVP League. A fantastic facility to get this thing started. It is the San Diego Smash and the LA Launch, a perfect duo, considering we're in the state of California. We'll be checking out the men's side of this matchup. Hi, everyone. Cameron Irwin alongside the two-time Olympian Kevin Barnett. And this is a rematch, Kevin. One that was probably the highlight of the season thus far in San Diego. What's going to determine this match? Okay,
I know what everyone wants to talk about, and that's the aces by Hagen Smith. He had 5 of them, right? That was a tremendous command performance. But think about this. Chase Budinger had 3 aces on his side. Buddy only hit 206. His partner had 18 digs. Chase Budinger doesn't hit 206 very often. So I think if he can raise his game just a little offensively, get back to normal and level while maintaining the other things, I think they can negate the aces. That was in a closely contested match despite that serving performance.
And to your point, Chase Budinger was the only attacker in 2024 that hit over 600. So that really showcases how it's just dropped off just a tiny bit. The San Diego Smash men currently sitting at 2-2. This is a team that made a push late in 2024. They are the crowned champions, the league champs from a season ago.
What I really like about these guys is the tempo setting. Watch how much of that they do. And I also want to see Miles Evans, dude, go to your jump serve. Put a little pressure on these guys. That thing has a curl. It can get nasty to the deep corner. That can be a weapon. I want to see him consistently show confidence in that skill.
Well, and notably in that past matchup with the LA Launch, Miles Evans, 0 aces in that matchup. So to your point, he's going to have to impart some more will on that.
Yeah, a place for growth, right? To get back to a point where you win that match instead of losing it 2-1, all in deuce fashion.
These two getting set. Chase Budinger, he was actually warming up by working a little bit of basketball skills through his legs. I looked at him, I said, "Are you sure that's the right skill set for this?" And he goes, "It's just what I do." A look to Miles Evans out of Santa Barbara, California, stands at 6'4", 35 years old, but still feels like he is a rookie coming up alongside the legendary Chase Budinger, also 37 years old, stands at 6'7", but just some veteran experience on his side of the net. Both of these athletes became Olympians last year. As the LA Launch, they might be the dark horse in 2025. Hagen Smith and Logan Weber, a perfect 2-0. You talked about the aces. Can they get it done a second time?
Well, we will see. Logan Weber would like to contribute a bit from that service line. He certainly has the capability at 6'9". He's got that Phil Dalhausser type frame. He's been working on his swing blocking. He was definitely impactful when these two teams played last time.
This week, you got a chance to see Hagen Smith on social media. The good news is he's here, and the sand is here. Not sure how many trips it took to get from the South Bay into the Intuit
With the
Dome.
5-gallon bucket.
With the 5-gallon bucket, but he put in some work today.
Well, you mentioned the dark horse, right? Well, where's the hat? Why aren't we playing in the cowboy hat here, Logan Weber? That's the branding. Let's see that thing out on the sand.
Hagen Smith, legendary in the sport of beach volleyball. He comes from strong bloodlines. For Logan Weber out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Quite a journey as he went from Michigan on to Ohio, played at Cincinnati Christian University, got an accounting degree, and decided, yeah, who needs that? Let's just play some beach volleyball. Best 2 of 3 to 15. Budinger to the sideline. And immediately starts where they left off. Flex down for Hagen.
I mean, Hagen was already pointing at about half of his warm-up swings, all of which he took shirtless and then pointed at him. So he's giving the crowd what the crowd wants and needs. A little bit of entertainment here in our final match of a Friday. I like his approach to the game, man. He'd be a showman, get after it, hit the ball hard. It's my kind of volleyball.
And it's an all-out type of mentality too. You watch him play defense and he's at the top of the order in terms of digs per set. An impressive performance just in, again, 2 matches played where they took down 2 Olympic teams.
All gas, no brakes.
Miles Evans, a little left to right action on that serve. Waterfall over the top for Weber.
Yeah, and the better and better Logan Weber can get with his soft touch, that's going to be good for his side. We've seen him drop him over. We've seen him drop it short just a little bit. He has really grown as a volleyball player over the last 2 years.
Played primarily alongside Hagen Smith in the last 2 years, and they feel like that's actually an advantage to be able to really try and play alongside somebody and grow alongside one another.
Yeah, you need to pick somebody up that you think you have a future with, and that's actually been a good thing for the other side as well for Chase Budinger and Miles Evans. Chase said Miles has been really open to learning to the structure that he adds. His NBA background and his training gives him an advantage in terms of setting up structure, and Miles has been really open to being a part of that.
For the LA Launch, this is their 3rd year playing together. And for Miles Evans and Chase Budinger, we can all remember what they did en route to get to Paris 2024.
Hey, they beat everybody for that spot. They ground it out when they needed to grind it out.
And then went on to take home the league championships. As that's shoved right back down, second flex down.
Yeah, this is going to be important for the new Thin Beast here, that he has to win these kind of plays. He has to be big at the net and win jousts at an 80 or 90% clip. He's capable of that at his size with his reach.
There's that quick snap. Evans has to work with a sharp angle to the right side of the court as we introduce the 3rd member of our crew, Rich Lamborn.
Thanks, Cam. You mentioned the flex downs by Logan Weber in this instance. If you follow AVP on social media, you know that Hagen chronicles working 5 to 6 days on the sand, 5 to 6 days in the gym. Guys, that's 10 to 12 days a week that he's working on his game. So you know there's lots of flexing going on their side. They're already bringing it pretty solidly here in set number 1.
I love it.
Back to you.
Rich.
It's almost like he's an Amish bowler or something.
There was also some comments made about his caloric intake, and he said he's eating between, what, 500,000 calories. That's a lot. 5,000 calories to 6,000 calories, and I'm like, that seems like a workout in itself.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I think the intake during a regular career, when you're pushing like that, when you're trying to grind, grow, play, learn all at the same time, you're looking at 5,000 to 8,000 pretty easily every single day. And if they're the right kind of calories, you can really feed that machine and get that furnace pumping.
He said protein and rice. That's the equation to get to Hagen Smith. A nice start for the LA Launch, now up 5-2. Again, these expedited sets, a 5-2 differential feels like a big difference right now. First time these two teams met was in San Diego in week 2. It was just 2 points of differential in sets 1, 2, and 3, 15-13, 16-14, and 18-16.
And if you remember, a long conversation, a lot of frustration for Budinger and Evans, who definitely felt like they left some points on the table.
An absolute house built by Logan Weber. Give that guy a high five.
Yeah, what I love about that move, the launch high five, I like that too. But Logan's block move, watch his arms here. He's going to wrap his arms to the right. He's completely outside of his body. Not quite the Anders Mole making a C in the air, but he's coming close with that level of reach, covering that much ground and covering off the hitter.
Budinger lowers his eyes and finds the simple play.
I don't like that though, right? Didn't you hit Evans last time? Didn't you just block Evans? You should do everything you can to make sure you serve Miles Evans again. Serve him short, serve him a puff ball deep. Whatever you want to do, you give him the ball and stuff him again.
He's been working with this left to right serve.
Yeah, put a little side on this one, Miles.
See if he can catch the right side. There it is, of Logan Weber. That's exactly what we're looking for, but there's the hustle. Looking for the option, sent back with interest.
Oh, he was right there, wasn't he? Hagen Smith read that one. He just had to keep traveling with it. Almost had it. This is the never say die of Hagen Smith. That's going to serve him well. Just to get that rally to continue was a monumental effort.
Like a muscle hamster on a wheel. High angle of attack finds the sand. Logan. Logan Weber does hold an AVP record. One that's notable is back in Austin 2022. Him and John Hyden broke the AVP record for having the biggest age discrepancy between partners. And the main draw was 23 years and 22 days at the time.
Yeah, I think John Hyden holds 8 of the 10 records with the largest gaps. It all includes John Hyden.
He grew up playing volleyball at Holland, Muskegon, and Grand Haven beaches. A couple AA tournaments. Went indoors, Cincinnati Christian, as he puts up a block there.
Yeah, historians of the beach will know that David Vandermeer, little muscle hamster from over there, former partner with Logan Weber. Sister Libby, former partner.
One of the unique aspects, too, for Logan Weber playing at Cincinnati Christian is he said that he saw the majority of the attacking. He said he felt that pressure, and you can imagine in a setting like this, he's going to need to be able to perform under high strain.
Yeah, you not only get the pressure, wow, that one's cranked by Buttinger. You not only get the pressure, but what you get is you get the comfort level of those reps and that responsibility all the time. Think of a Jordan Thompson at Cincinnati, who's gone on to Olympic and international stardom. Of course, now a two-time Olympic medalist. She was in an off conference and an off team, but she got every swing, and that translated, that level of confidence translated when she went to the next level.
It translates on that last play as well for Logan Weber. Nice shot down the line. Hitting error 0 on the side of the LA launch. Usually that's going to spell victory.
I like how Logan keeps this one high, reaches high and turns that one straight down the line with not a lot of room left. And even had Chase been just a touch over, that would have been a chisel kill.
Separation, climbing once more.
Another clean ace. Hit 5 aces, but several of them were straight clean, just like this. Now he'll move it around too. Question is, where will he go next? Will he go to Miles' right? That's where I'd go.
That's what I call breaking angles.
I'd crank it on Miles. I'll bet Miles moves a little bit left here.
This time it's right back to the center, and Miles shifts and uses the knife.
Yeah, that's nice, but LA's been able to stretch out here, score 1 here, 1 there, 1 here. Not a big run, but a workman-like 4-point lead. 5 on the side out.
We've really only seen large runs more so on the women's side, a couple 7 and 8-0 runs. On the men's side, it's only been about 5-0 runs we've seen through 2025, which would be enough to get the San Diego Smash within striking distance, now down by 3. Starting to hear the Miles Evans cheers. Working with a slide attack, quick recovery, side jumps it. That was a full windmill.
Well, this guy ran a 6'2". In college. He set and hit. As we talked about James Shaw with perhaps the perfect background. Well, guess who else has that? It's Hagen Smith with the perfect background.
Hagen Smith, the product of UCLA, and of course we talk about the bloodlines.
This will be the final timeout.
Son of legendary beach volleyball pro, St. John Smith.
Yeah, but cutting his own path here in the sport in his own way. As a kid who came out of college, and what did he do? Well, he started a dating app. Didn't know if he was going to go full volleyball the whole time, but he started a dating app right away. It's not everyone's first move.
You did one fast crossover. He tried to look at you. You were not giving information, not even for him, not even for Hagen.
You can stay or just play around with it, but obviously a limited game. Yeah. So I think Chase, if you give him a
Joyner in the box for the LA launch.
We got it. I think I agree. Yeah, but even that little juice might make him think of something different. You had some really nice looking shots at the beginning of the game. Don't forget who you are. Big, high, be smart, be aggressive. Okay? Big up, boy.
That's good advice right there.
Yeah, I like that because he did have some really good shots. But hey, you're not Trevor Kraft. Okay, you're not just going to shoot the whole time, but you love to get off to a good start with that kind of non-dominant skill. Well,
and it's interesting too because this was a switch for Hagen and Logan, switching the left and right sides coming into this year. And Hagen said that he loves Logan on that right side. It says it kind of just gets to simplify his brain a bit. Just go be big, hit angle until someone blocks you 3 times, and just flip through points one after the other and utilize that height to your advantage. So the switch from right to left, and so far the LA launch, it's worked in their favor. High set, and drops the elbow to the line.
Yeah, that was a high set. You got that right. You kind of got there a little early, had to hang and then tap.
sideline for Chase Buttinger. Simplified offense means a heavy angle.
That was both the right lineup and a better swing.
Chase Buttinger hitting about a 70% shot. That's when you can tell just absolute control, calculation on approach.
Well, Chase now 4 of 5, so that's a much better start than that 206 number we talked about the first time they met.
Logan Weber with an open net finds an even sharper angle. How does San Diego right the ship here?
Well, they're going to have to get a couple of digs. They've been playing some scheme games here. It's only worked once. Logan had those good shots to start. He's had a couple of big swings. They picked up a couple of aces. It's just kind of LA launch brand volleyball.
But will digs be enough? There's another tough serve as Chase gets blocked by his own partner. It's a little screenplay right there.
Well, it's always tough if the other side is going to serve this difficult, keep you off balance. I think Miles Evans had that 18 dig performance last time out. Those were stellar. We haven't seen that thus far here. Struggling to pick up some defensive chances.
But it's one thing to get digs, it's another to convert, as here's an opportunity potentially to convert. (13-10), Smith and Weber. There's the digs on screen. Buttinger and Evans with just one.
Yeah, I mean, Smith and Weber have none, but they have, you know, a block and several aces.
Weber works the reverse, puts up two hands and decides to utilize just the heel of his hand to the corner.
Well, they're hitting over 600.
Whew.
You know, a couple of hitting errors on the other side, particularly from Miles Evans. He's currently 4 kills on 7, which isn't bad, right? But if you throw in 3 errors, that doesn't look so good in the stat sheet.
Set point now, LA launch. Change of pace. Heavy drop down for Weber, but another point scored for San Diego. They've got to pick up some real points here.
Well,
Digs
Chase
are not enough.
Chase squeezed in that time. You know, I would keep trying to go after Evans, but if you're Chase, you need to squeeze your partner and take a little bit extra. Try and get a few offensive opportunities.
Weber utilizing the chest. Another high ball and snapped straight back to the sand, and the LA launch pick up where they left off, 15-11 in set number 1.
Weber playing big at the net. Smith playing big from the service line. That's what carried this first set. That is LA launch brand volleyball.
All right, they're lining up. Our jockeys are ready. We broke out a little donkeys earlier. And now
how about a little magic, huh?
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
The race is on in the Intuit Dome. The race to the AVP League Championship. And why not a little horse race to keep you going? Set 2 just about to get underway between Smith and Weber, Buttinger and Evans. Cameron Irwin alongside Kevin Barnett, Rich Lamborn down on the sand. I mean, that tells the story.
Yeah, it's no mystery here, right? Sometimes the numbers are a little bit wonky. You wonder, how did it happen? Well, LA unstoppable offensively. They block 2 balls. They get 2 aces. You get some errors out of your opponent, and I'm surprised that the match is only, or that set was only 15-11. That could have been a 15-8 kind of situation.
Yeah, without a doubt, you see the errors on screen as well. And it's just an interesting number, too, from 24 to 25. Chase Budinger, he only committed 10 hitting errors in total last season on 182 swings. That's how he was above 600, a remarkable number. However, he has far surpassed that to start off this season. Now, is that a product of Chase, or is it a product of the passing, the setting? Where are you kind of seeing some of those errors come about for the San Diego Smash?
In the Intuit Derby.
Now, the errors are just coming here and there, right? I don't think they're consistent. They're not missing 2 or 3 in a row and giving up runs. They're just giving up 1 point in a rotation. Go back, side out. They'll give up 1 point in the next rotation. I haven't really seen anything that I could diagnose with Chase, hey, this is the mistake.
Well, and it's fair, too, when you take a look at some of their opponents, right? Their first loss came to Benish and Partey, and you're going, yeah, that's somewhat understandable with 17-19 and 8-15 against the other Olympic duo. Then they picked up wins against Cook and Miller, Droston Harrison, and then it was right back to this team, Weber and Smith. It was that 3-set loss. So maybe the number's just not a big enough sample size.
Perhaps, yeah. We've seen some quality young teams come in, though, and this is the best young team right now, LA.
Second set, and when that's working in your favor, there's not much you can do. Right back to the launching high five. It's funny, if you're reading the comment section on the muscle post for Hagen Smith, most of them actually were just asking what his hair care routine was.
I mean, I've seen Kelsey Robinson's skincare routine, so now I guess I'm getting Hagen Smith's hair care.
That's pretty good, though.
Needs a hair care line.
Pantene, sponsor him.
We can start there, a little 2-in-1. I always felt like the 2-in-1 worked. The 2-in-1 worked the first time, felt really good and different. Then about the third time, you wondered why you were using dish soap in your hair.
Still trying to catch my breath. There's Logan Weber, smacks that to the sand. And let's check in with Rich Lamborn. You don't get to talk anymore.
Yeah, because we're talking about hair care. Let's bring in Rich Lamborn.
I have delightful hair. Just talking to Coach Dan Wayner about any nuggets he gave his guys between sets. He said, we gave them 5 points, they only gave us 2, so we've got to reduce our number of errors, and we have to trust the game plan. We kind of didn't let it settle in. Sometimes it takes a little while to get into that game plan, so let's trust it, let's kind of stay the course, and let's see if we can't get some traction here in set number 2.
Great point. Can't give away points in these quick sets to 15. Dan working with the San Diego Smash, as that is a miss. And interestingly enough, he changed it up. He had been going cross court. That went down the line.
Yeah, I think his serve works better cross court, and I wouldn't necessarily worry about who's passing it. I'd worry about best serve. I'm always a proponent of best serve beats best passer.
Already 3 aces for Hagen Smith. Nearly gets a 4th. Big right-left step. And that could build some momentum for the smash. A smashing swing.
And a good job to work around it there by Miles Evans. That was a huge split block from Weber. So before we saw the two-handed reach over the top, kind of that C motion, this time he went up and went full spread block, trying to take out the angle and the line.
Weber rips it. Bye-bye hat, bye-bye ball.
Just sitting in the pocket. Miles Evans, nice control.
Miles is looking in the stands right now, trying to build that energy.
Well, Hagen's been controlling the home crowd.
There's that spread block, like you mentioned.
Yeah, had he stuck with it, had he left it out there, he might have gotten a piece of that one.
First lead for San Diego. And it extends on the error.
Well, they wanted some of those errors back. They got it. That was a case of Weber thinking about his partner being so far down the sand, he's got to try and put it to the back line for extra time. I would go vertical for extra time. Just go up. You got plenty of space. Pop it way high. You know it's in the middle. Don't worry about trying to hit the sideline or the end line.
Cushion platform for Weber. And another error.
I call it timeout.
Change of game. You're throwing up the T immediately,
yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
The 4-0 run now for the San Diego Smash. This is exactly what they need.
Yeah, shake it off.
Early timeout by the launch.
They head to the benches. There's Dan in the mix.
I love this sequence. As you scoop him on angle, I was talking with myself, a 4 now. He's been scoring online. Okay? We can run a 4.
Let's say we have the plan for the 4 and then just back. You keep it?
Yeah, he's shooting the line, dude. Shooting the line and score.
He's shooting the line in this moment right now. Out of a timeout?
Maybe not. That's why.
I don't know if he goes back.
What?
I'm gonna get that little slime. Yeah. Okay.
So you're gonna bring him to the middle.
I'm gonna body the middle. I'm gonna try to get the left shoulder.
Okay. Play around. Keep
He
playing.
wanted to go back the last time.
Yes.
He got stuck.
Keep playing around with the amount of power that you put. That's looking good. Chase, it's gonna be you now.
You get a really interesting view there of how much of the strategy is the coach and how much of the strategy is the player, right? That interplay, that push and pull between what the plan should be to continue this run for the San Diego Smash.
Talking about shooting to the line against Miles Evans.
And Miles going to run that down, right? Sit in the angle, you dug him, he's going to shoot line.
And it's the interplay between the block and defense. Let's see if they can align it perfectly here. He doesn't shoot line, he snaps it.
Well,
pocket.
Hey, that was the right move. You saw Miles release, right? But if you put a big gooseneck on the top of it, not coming back.
What's going on, Rich Lamborn?
I didn't say a word during that timeout. He said they are kind of a self-correcting organism. They're just best when they kind of figure it out themselves and go out and do the thing. So he was quiet. Less is more philosophy for the LA launch in the box.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because some teams don't really have to say a whole lot. You watch the Palm Beach Passion men, maybe a little bit more conversation in recent matches just in lieu of some injuries. But some teams just kind of keep it as is.
Yeah, you try and find your way with your partner, right? You mentioned the passion. I know Trevor and Phil are kind of working on that communication.
The LA launch, matrix play.
I see you, Neo.
Dropping back down. Good chance to see Chase Budinger. He has a big week this week. Beckham turned 3. There was a big birthday party. Says one of his best parts of his life. He just loves being a dad, coming home to his kid and his wife, Jess. He said the best part, too. Beckham loves sports, but golf.
No, you never know. The kid's young. You drag him into beach volleyball in the NBA soon. Not in that order.
Yeah, and he said the beach volleyball has really kind of changed his scope. Coming from the NBA now into beach volleyball, it's really allowed him to not necessarily hyper-focus as much on the game of beach volleyball, enjoying some of life as well as beach and a competitive environment as opposed to just being locked in on basketball.
Yeah, and that's the station in life, right, with the things you just mentioned. When you pick up a wife and you have someone else to think about, and then you pick up a kid and you figure out that being at practice or being at a match is the least important part of your day. Who cares when we're even here? And really, the odd thing about that is the less you care, a lot of times the better you play. It's not that it doesn't matter at all. You don't treat it with some sort of disrespect, but you can comfortably succeed.
It's going to be a challenge on this last swing. The LA launch think this ball was inbound. San Diego believes out of bounds. Second set kills, it's been a little bit more lopsided. San Diego 5 with just 0 hitting errors. LA launch just 2 kills and 2 hitting errors in the second set.
Yeah, on 5 attempts.
So with this, it might be the third.
Great work by a crew to look at it there. That ball is wide.
That is out of bounds.
So instead, it's 2 kills, 3 hitting errors for the LA launch in set 2.
That would be negative territory.
He can do math.
Well, I mean, not exactly. Just rough approximation.
These two teams went 3 the last time they did battle, and it's looking like it could go the distance here. 9-6 for the smash.
Well, here's the thing about LA, though. They can be a little bit explosive, right? Those quick points, those block points, and those service aces. That's what carried the first set. Yeah, a couple of errors, but it was a lot of what the launch did. And that's how they can get back in this one.
Platform extended to the right side of his body and finds a chisel off the edge. A couple chase calls as well, originally out of Encinitas, California, now resides in Hermosa Beach. It's been 7 seasons in the NBA. Extended set there, good touch and a scoop play. Chase Budinger. The lightest of touches.
Funny you mentioned the NBA experience of Chase Budinger. At what point does he become a volleyball player that happened to have played in the NBA? Right.
This year.
Yeah, because you've done this longer than you did that, right?
This is 8th season, correct?
Yeah, so he's a volleyball player.
Yeah, without
primarily a volleyball player. That he also did something else. We don't remember. He's always just been a volleyball player.
Pretty cool, though. He's a co-MVP of the McDonald's All-American game. Do you know who it was with?
Oh, this is like a weirdo question.
It's fun trivia. Kevin Durant.
Oh, nice.
It's a pretty significant co-MVP.
The guy's okay. He's on his 9th team in 9 years, but other than that, it's fine.
Another out-of-system play, but what a beauty of a set. Play was rescued by Miles Evans, and that one is sinking to the sand.
Well, this is what is brought to the table by Hagen Smith and his training as a setter. Both of those deliveries are just spot on to the left-hand side. You mentioned that they switch sides, right? So Logan's perfectly comfortable over here. He's been over here forever, and then he's receiving those perfect sets even from off situations. That's a case of Hagen bettering the ball on his contact.
It's as if they're never out of system.
Yeah, it is hard to get them out.
Option play and some net love for C-Bud.
Yeah, what San Diego does excellently there is when they're able to control the pass and they can push to one side, Chase can either fake or take that. Alternately, he won't set high to the other side. He'll tempo that ball out. So that it is a lot for the blocker process. They have to make a choice. They cannot reasonably cover both.
There's the numbers for Chase Budinger. 9 kills, just 1 error, so good numbers for him. Another brisk swing from Hagen Smith. Just tattooing that one to the back line.
Well, you can clearly see what the game plan is, and it's to keep the ball away from Smith, who hurt them with big swings like that the last time they played. Weber has 19 attempts. Smith has 5.
3 aces for Hagen Smith. That one said well wide. He's getting some grief right now from the stands as well.
It's a Santa Barbara faction. Down to support Miles.
Shaky platform. How about a back jump set? This guy's putting on a clinic.
I love
how
this.
hard is this?
Well, if you're an All-American indoor setter, that's in your wheelhouse. Were you an All-American?
Nope.
You were an indoor setter?
I was.
Okay.
Short serve challenged. C-Bud gets crafty. Pound Town is enjoying the action from the San Diego Smash. Now set point.
Set point smash.
Fleeting set now for the LA launch. And there's the ace. You've been begging for it.
Wrap around the side with some tempo. That's the winning formula.
You knew it was gonna go there. Another 3-set battle between the LA launch and the San Diego Smashmen. A gorgeous delivery from Miles Evans from the service line.
Unlike the last match, the interesting thing here is they have both traded convincing victories. So who has the momentum in this third set? I'm picking the Smash to start off of that, but it wasn't it wasn't definitive throughout an entire set for either. I don't even know what that means.
Okay, let's see if she's tone that one a little bit more. Okay, your serve, take what they're giving to you.
What's up, Maggie? All right, who's the deal?
A look back to Dan, the San Diego Smash, as well as the LA Launch.
Is going to play a song.
And Joyner again in the mix.
But the song's going to be played back.
Coaching these two up.
So,
as you look to the schedule, in just 1 week's time, we get a chance to head off to the New York City Central Park and Wilmore Park, nonetheless, to get a chance, or Wilmore Rink, excuse me, to get a chance to see the AVP in the Big Apple. Then off to the great state of Texas, Austin, Dallas, and the championships in Chicago. It feels like this is flying. The summer, it feels like it's here and already gone. Now past the halfway point. Who's impressed you the most in the first half of the season?
Wow, that's a great question. Who's impressed me the most? I really like the way the silver medalists have played, Mel and Brandy. They've been so good. They lost that first match barely. They were just back into their program, right? But I really like the LA Launch on both sides. But I have to pick Denneberg and Donlin. Their brand of volleyball, the way that they've come through and do sets time and again, their aggressive nature, the way that they've stayed with it, they've been my favorite.
That's a very good call out right there. And of course, the LA Launch are looking to go 4-0 on the weekend. They're at now. Their LA Launch women already picked up the win. Let's check in now with Rich Lamborn.
I just wanted to sing Whitney Houston. That's what I was
Have at it, man.
We're waiting.
I was talking to St. John, who's the father, of course, of Hagen Smith, and one of the game's all-time legends. I said, what do the boys have to do in this third set? He said, well, it would be nice if we could come up with a block or a dig. We were kind of devoid in those categories in that second set, and obviously defense, a big part of winning matches. And so he feels like his boys need to step it up a little bit on the defensive end. And I said, when you get a dig, what's more fun to yell, Randy or Logan? And it just depends on who's in front of you.
Rolo.
Just get the dig.
Yell Rolo. Yeah, to your point, just one dig, and it's by Weber for the entire match, by the way.
Well, and interesting enough, too, coming into this weekend, Hagen Smith, as that is just unleashed from Logan Weber. Hagen Smith was at 4 digs per set in those first 2 matches they played.
Yeah, he was making so many good reads and scooping, right? That was exciting. Here's my question. They've been super aggressive in the start to their season, right? From the service line, blocking, doing all these things, taking big swings like they just did there. What will they do when they're challenged? Will they stay aggressive? Please do. And they did on that first swing. You have to stay true to yourself. Stay loose, stay aggressive. I think that would be a good formula for LA.
And when you have a team that's just unloading on a ball, like the LA Launch is right now, the San Diego Smash, do they try and mirror that aggressiveness, or do they stay and play their own game?
Play your game. Play your tempo offense. Keep spreading. When you can control the pass, spread that. I love when they spread the net like that.
Mentally, it's got to be taxing, though, just in terms of big swing after big swing, the rally, and all the fans starting to go to their side. It's hard to play your own game when it's a little bit more outwardly subdued. A look to St. John Smith now. And it's interesting, he actually, not in the box today, but he was during the qualification process for Logan and Hagen, and it was some of the most emotive moments they've seen from St. John Smith when they actually got that qualification into the league. Hagen saying this is the pinnacle of USA volleyball, getting a chance to play in the league.
Yeah, I mean, these matches are always top matches, right? You're facing off with the Olympians from last year, and both teams in the league. Oh, there's that hesitation, right? They were talking about that in the box where Hagen was going to fake to one side and then come back and stay. He was right there on it. Just a little too much heat.
Implementing the short serve on both sides of the net.
Well, here's a question I have. Do you have an on-2 with Hagen? If someone's going to serve Logan that much and be that definitive about putting the ball in Logan's side of the net, can Hagen get up and take a big cut at it? Why not?
I mean, it's coming from his into his strong side.
Yeah. I would work on that, given what's gone on in this match. I don't know if Coach Rich Lamborn likes that or not.
Nice footwork from Chase Budinger, and again, staying nice and simple, finding their best volleyball.
Now that was a chance for a dig. It looks like maybe they were in a read instead of playing a scheme, but that was a real chance to pick the ball up. Just about a half a step short was Hagen Smith.
Smith still looking for his first dig in the match.
Yeah, it was just wild, right?
That's insane.
Yeah, considering your 4 digs per set.
He was leading the league after that performance.
Well, any of the numbers with some of these teams that only played 2 matches, I'm looking at them, yeah, that's a great number, but it's only 2 matches.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're going to learn a lot more. We know much more
I'll keep
about
sticking with it. It was
San
only
Diego.
2 matches against 2 Olympic teams.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Push set.
Go, 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 go.
Quickening the pace, the San Diego smash.
Set number 3, it is 4-4.
I don't think either side feels really comfortable at this moment. You can obviously see the frustration on the LA side, but here, these guys, look at the perturbed nature of Chase Buttinger right now. They're not feeling it just yet.
Lifting the pass, Weber. And that will start to help the mindset of Chase Buttinger. He said whenever he gets frustrated on the court, it's because he's not picking up blocks. Well, here you go, Chase.
Well, blocks have been the real pickup for that team this year. Chase has really done a nice job of affecting the game at the net. He has risen up in his numbers as well as his controls and his channels.
Rolling to the right side of the court. And Weber's saying, all right, talk about my setting too, even if it is off his platform. Five apiece. Match is going to go to the distance. Closed out in that third set, 18-16 in week 2. Couple set points on both sides of the net. Live and die by the serve.
Got to keep going for it.
Wrist away, back to the line. Long set, and that is a whopping seam.
You can see why they're staying away from him. He's hitting 571 now on the match. These are not bad numbers. They really kind of picked up in this set. Weber's hitting 458. The problem is they can't slow down Buttinger. He's 12 of 13.
Jeez, that's a nightmare to have to face.
And Evans is 10 of 14.
Last time they met, there is the fastest set I've ever seen on the beach. And it lands right on his toe. How's your lateral movement, Kevin?
Not that good.
Whenever you face a big blocker, Chase Buttinger told me you want to make a move. That is as fast as Logan Weber will ever have to move.
Yeah, but Logan's been working on that swing block, and we saw it be effective in the last match between these two, and they're just working on getting out to the outside.
Fake and open net, line it up, Miles Evans.
Chase, love the body control there. The most difficult part of that is to have your arms behind you, bring them through into what looks like a plausible jump to swing, and then to gently send the ball out, not double it, not mismangle it.
He had enough time to look across the net and say, gotcha, to Logan Weber. I mean, I love this approach from the LA launch. Just send that as a skyball set and let him go to work.
Well, they both can be very physical, right? It's Logan with his contact point, and we've seen him hit his soft shots, but his contact point can be so high. For Hagen, it's his ability to move the ball around. He can heat it up and he can pull it line, angle. He's used to being that smaller attacker against a bigger block. That was his whole collegiate career.
Serve well dialed now for Smith. He's shallow on defense, and he's not needed.
Another split block situation, fourth block for Weber. So if I'm Miles Evans and I know the split block is coming, is that a split block there? If I know the split block is coming, that's when you want to swing right at his head. The old Phil idea. When you couldn't beat Phil, you just swing at Phil's face instead of at Phil's arms.
This look like Rich Lambourne dance moves. Miles with a cheeky sidestep, lets that one go. Doesn't even turn around to look at the line. Evans changes his starting location and his style. This time it's the option. That's not easy. Working on the right side, coming across your left shoulder.
No, but he pushed it up to the net with enough space and time off an easier serve. You can push it up to the net and high, so Logan can work his way around it, much like you would have to do on a right-hand attack, right-hand side of the net.
Logan Webber's had 3+ blocks in each of his matches thus far, already moved up to 4 blocks, looking for 5. And that is just a mean swing from Chase Budinger.
Real sharp to get under that one. Budinger with the kill in the angle. 9-10.
No stopping that one. 13 kills, just 1 error. An electric performance from C-Bud. 857.
Ridiculous.
13 of 14. That's bonkers. High inside set. Not room to work, but he finds the sand nonetheless.
Listen to his partner, too. You heard the angle call, and as soon as he came down, showing Hagen that he knew that that was the right call given to him.
Tough, too. He was a little bit more middle, not as much room to the sideline.
Yeah, so he hasn't gone straight line to line here. Hagen hasn't. I might try that right now. If you have it, if you're feeling it, and you can crack it straight down the line, I don't think Chase will move. You've hit so much middle.
Still sitting at 3 aces, and several of his errors have actually been sent long.
Yeah.
5 service errors now for Smith.
We're taking a timeout.
And a timeout called. Just a 1-point game. What on earth is this going to come down to? Is it going to be the serve of Hagen Smith? Will it be the side out or maybe a dig and transition play on the side of Miles Evans?
Well, I think if the stats are any guide, it won't be a dig and transition play from the LA launch. They still have yet to pick up a dig. Miles Evans has 5. This is another pretty offensively dominated match. I think it's going to be a block. I think Chase is either going to get a hold of one or Logan's going to get one. My money's on Logan, actually, given the 4-to-1 ratio at the moment. And against Chase, if he gets the ball and I'm Logan, I'd go full as wide a split block as I can go, because Chase has been trying to find those sharp angles when he hits. I'd come up, and if you're going to block for the swing, go full split. Or come up late if you're looking for the shot.
Just sacrifice the knock-in.
Way late. Yeah. Yeah, if Chase is going to find your face, no, that's all right.
A little duck and cover.
Yeah.
There's the digs on screen, Budinger and Evans. I've never seen a 3-set match with just 1 dig.
No, it's terrible. He's had a couple of opportunities, been just a half a step from really picking the ball up.
And again, St. John Smith asking for some more blocks and digs. Well, they got the blocks part of that into the equation. Now just trying to find the second. This would be the most timely dig for Hagen Smith. Miles Evans found the ace late. And set number 2. How much can he dial up here in set 3? Perfect song playing for DJ Rouchet.
So if Miles Evans has a cut serve right now, I would cut it. Same spin, same sideways, same towards Logan Webber, but cut it short. We tried.
He tried.
He tried.
It was instead deep into the court. That's the impressive play from Logan Webber, continuing to get better, and a true team format right here for the LA launch. You saw Meg Kraft and Therese Cannon. They picked up the win this evening as well.
They've won. They've played an on-court game with the crowd. They've taken a shower, had a meal. It's been a good night for the LA launch on the women's side.
LA launch currently sitting at 5-0. If the men pick up this win, they'll be 6-0 through league play. Important to note, too, this is a rookie duo for the LA Launch on the men's side in the AVP League. Neither having played last season and stunning a few teams to this point. How about a welcome into your first matches, or your first 3 matches, all against Olympians?
Yeah, you're in a position where you can side out for the victory.
Soft dig, and Statue of Liberty, the flipper comes back and tossed like a salad. Hagen Smith with some magic.
What a time to pick up your first dig of the third set.
He has to fix his shorts after that one.
Yeah,
Sand falling out.
the numbers aren't always going your way. Sometimes it's just a matter of when they go your way. Like right now, 3 aces, 6 airs. Yeah, okay, you'll take it. You know, it looks a lot better, 4 of 6, and you're at match ball.
One more. There's the second dig for Hagen Smith. We talked about it, needing the timely digs. Hagen Smith stepping up when they need it the most. Now match point. Therese Cannon, Maycraft, and the LA Launch look to remain undefeated.
Yeah, move to the right. I like this. I'll bet this ball goes middle. That's where he's found success. Get on it. Go for the ace.
Ace! The sequel is even sweeter. LA Launch remain unbeaten.
The LA Launch stay undefeated.
3 wins over Olympic teams. Making plays, blocking balls, service aces, playing your game. The defense wasn't there, but you know what the good news is? You just grounded out. You grounded out and made a couple plays at the end to come out with the victory. A nice performance at home.
If you told me the LA Launch would be sitting at 6-0 to start the season, including the fact that they had to play this tough of opponents to start off, man, I wouldn't believe you. But lo and behold, the LA Launch doing the unthinkable.
Logan Weber was 7 of 9 in the third set. They hit 750 as a pair in the final frame. Way to step up.
There's the final strike for Hagen Smith. It was a 4-ace performance and, hey, a 2-dig performance to pick up the 3-set win. Congratulations to LA Launch. They'll be back in action right here in the Intuit Dome along with the rest of the AVP League. We'll see you at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for joining us right here with the AVP League.